Hey everybody, greetings, greetings, greetings. Well, without further ado, I want to pick up where I left off because this is the final episode, per se, of how I got into education. So if you guys remember, with the last video, we had just ended the IEP meeting and we started a new educational plan. Well, coming into year two, everything was exciting. I was excited because I actually knew the schedule. I knew my students' teachers. I knew the student even better. We had gone through some rocky times, but made it out fine. But I also knew my students' parents. And knowing the parents helped out tremendously. Having the parents in your corner when you're trying to educate and trying to help is a vital piece. Okay, so first tip of the day, my teachers and special education teachers, having a great rapport, having a positive rapport with the parents helps out tremendously. They will actually pick up your phone call because they trust you and they believe in you. If you only call bad news, that's when you get speed dial. That's when you get blocked. That's happened to me before. So I just want to give that tip. Start with something good. Always try to find something good to praise your student just so you can have that two-way communication. Now, along with me and my student, we had expectations and also had accountability. They kept me accountable, and I'll definitely explain how they did that later on in the video. Okay, but let me just go ahead and just tell you how the school year started. My student had a whole new renewed energy. I am not sure what happened over the summertime, but they came back energized, they came back motivated, and it was a lot easier to work with them. So keep in mind, I was sitting behind them, taking notes, and as long as they attempted to take notes, I would take them all. Well, we didn't have any more issues with them putting their pen or pencil down. They kept it going, and I was so proud. But one day in health class, okay? Now keep in mind, I just graduated, so of course I thought I knew everything. I'm in health class, and the health teacher gave some scenarios of some events, and I was like, what? That's not true. That's a myth. That's an urban legend. But I'm just daydreaming, just almost reminiscing, thinking back. And I'm looking around, and then I lock eyes with my student. They look at me and said, and I was like, sorry, gotcha. And that was the time when the student became the teacher. They were holding me accountable. And educators, we all know, don't give any students any kind of leverage because they're going to take it and laugh at you. For all the times I was hard on them, they had their opportunity to turn the tables. But what that did, that showed me that it finally sunk in. The stuff I was trying to tell, the stuff I was trying to teach, the items I was trying to mold, it was finally starting to sink in. So I couldn't get mad at it, just had to chuckle a little bit. And so when that happened, a new threshold, a new plateau was established. So let's fast forward. That was around first semester. Everything's going great. Come March, my student was super excited, ran up to me, said, I got great news. I'm like, what's going on? They said they had been accepted into culinary school. What? Like, for real, for real? They were going to graduate early. They had all the requirements. They had all the academic requirements. They had met their goals with their IEP. Everyone was happy-go-lucky. Could not believe it. A year prior, the student was behind. They made up more than a year's time with effort, energy, love, and also having an open mind and also hold themselves responsible and accountable. This was a magical experience. When I saw the parents, they had a loss for words. I had a loss for words. Yes, I thought that I had a hand in it, but I didn't know it was going to go that fast and my student was going to take off that well. That let me know right then and there, set high expectations for your students because when they achieve them, it's almost a magical feeling. Okay, so went from not even thinking about graduation to graduating early and continuing the education with culinary. A noble trade, a noble job. So I remember early graduation that I was talking to my student and we had a heart-to-heart. And what they didn't know is that throughout all these months of working with them, they had inspired me just as much as I had inspired them. Whenever you have that question, well, how'd you get into education? This was the most unorthodox story, unique. I had to go through, learning trials and tribulations, trying to figure it out. But I got inspired because the student who I dealt with was graduating early with an educational plan. That's all you can ask for, secondary education and continuing education. So I just wanted to let you guys know. Now, this was almost like the conclusion of how I got into education. When I tell you about my first years as a teacher, that's when the rubber hits the road. But thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a great experience. Thank you so much for the support. Look out for my next video. I'm also going to try to, do cross platforms. So you might not just see me on YouTube, you might see me on other platforms as well. But thank you so much for your support. For all my educators out there, the tip of the day, get in good with the parents. Build a rapport with them through positivity, because then you can tell the truth later on and you guys can work together. All right. See you next time. Bye-bye.